So we have with us today a man by the name of Greg. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Ari, how are you?
Good, good. And the reason I asked Greg to come on is because he has a fascinating occupation. It's a little complicated, so I'm going to ask him to help me describe it. It's called cryogen.
Right. Well, the company's name is called New York Cryogen, but the what we do is actually high pressure medical cryotherapy. And what high pressure medical cryotherapy is, it's traditionally a lot different than what traditional cryotherapy uses, where you go to those chambers and those spas, where you actually go into a chamber and you get cold for a few minutes. I created and cultivated and invented a new technology, a new technique, a new approach in the cryotherapy industry, and it is high pressure cryotherapy. And what it is basically is I use a completely different gas. I use liquid carbon dioxide, oxygen, and compressed air in a special cylinder. And I have a medical device that I use to dispense the gas onto the patient's skin. So I discovered for pain management, it's the pressurization of the cold gas ramming in deep into the anatomy of the person's body that eradicates inflammation. So that is associated with pain. So for example, somebody that has sciatic pain in there, which is basically pain of the sciatic nerve, which is bilateral of the spine in the lumbar region around the L4, L5, S1 region. And when people have tremendous amount of inflammation in those regions, it compresses and presses on the spine, on the sciatic nerve, giving you that pain sensation in your lower back and down your legs. So what my technology does, it actually eradicates the inflammation around the nerve, giving nerve relief, giving the nerve pain. And it does it very rapidly, quickly, safely, and effectively. So by spraying this liquid carbon dioxide in the specific areas, I have the ability to get deep into the anatomy, eradicating the inflammation, giving pain relief.
Right. So the first thing that is glaring about your therapy, I guess we could call it, is
Mhm.
that it's for the everyday person, but you also have some high level competitors in different athletic sports that are able to gain, rehabilitate quickly as a result, get back into the competition.
Exactly. It's not just about pain management, but it's also about, for athletes for sports recovery as well. I've
Mhm.
treated many athletes, high school level athletes, top Division 1 lacrosse player athletes, and professional bodybuilders, and it helps them recover quicker. Um, as from a quadricep strain, ankle sprain, knee strains, and stuff like that. So instead of having them being on the sideline and not playing, we're able to maintain and help them work through the injury with the cryotherapy, with the high pressure cryotherapy.
That's incredible. Does it also help with um, the time it takes for, like, for example, a bodybuilder needs a couple of days for his muscles to go through certain steps? Does this cryogen make it so that you could work out a specific muscle, a body part more often, or that's not something related?
That's really not related. Bodybuilders tend to really overload their muscles, obviously, because they're trying to grow and they're trying
Right.
to shape and stuff like that, which they have a tendency of overdoing it. So most of the bodybuilders that I treat a lot of the tendonitis, quadricep tendonitis, patella tendonitis, bilateral elbow tendonitis, golfer's elbow or tennis elbow, it's commonly known. So yes, we're able to treat those injuries and help them, continue to, push at a high level. So the recovery on this is actually is instantly. It's not like you have to wait a week for the results. People start feeling the difference 2 hours after the treatment, and then the next day is when you really have that oh my god moment holy cow, I can't believe it. I'm pain free. So it eliminates the inflammation, eliminates the lactic acid, and it allows them to train harder and longer.
That's incredible. And lactic acid is something that as you get older, it's something that you suffer from just naturally. I mean,
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate chemical that your body just makes, and then getting older is not fun.
right.
It is what it is. You can't fight
I gotta,
you can't fight biology.
right. Yeah, I gotta come check this out. I'm 49. I've been through it all, bodybuilding, strength training,
Mhm.
boxing. Um, and a lot of the things you mentioned are issues that I deal with. And
Hmm.
it's, yeah, I mean, I know that as you get older, it could be permanent. Whereas even for a bodybuilder, I mean, somebody could be put to the sidelines for something as simple as what you're mentioning for a good 6 weeks. So this
Yeah.
is a game changer.
I mean, one of the pro bodybuilders that I've treated, he had IFBB Pro. He had patella tendonitis and quadricep tendonitis, severe, severely high level, inflammation in those areas. And I use a thermographic camera to measure the levels of inflammation in those areas. And the type of injury that he had would need months to recover. And we gave him 6 treatments, and he was boom, done in a week, and put him into full remission. And he hasn't had a recurrence since. And it's been over 2 years. And his testimonials on my Instagram, as well as many other, testimonials from other
That's
people.
fascinating. So definitely we're gonna put all your information into the description. Instagram, you have a monstrous following.
Yeah, I
It's
just
incredible.
I just clicked over 1.8 million yesterday.
Congrats.
So thank you. My I've been very fortunate. The technology has reached globally as far as Australia. Technically, we are a registered medical device company that we are producing medical devices for high pressure cryotherapy, and one of the machines that is closest to the market is called the AC-130 Viper. The AC stands for Advanced Cryo. The number is just a random number that just sounded good, so it doesn't mean anything. And I named it the Viper because as I was creating the machine and developing it and tweaking it through research and development, it just became that much more ferocious and more effective. And I was learning, through my clinical trials, you learn through better techniques by doing it more, and you learn
Right.
trial and error. So, we are part of the American Medical Association. We are credentialed by them. Soon, we're going to be accepting healthcare insurance for this treatment. We're just
Amazing.
we're just waiting for my device to be released. We have nationalized this in 26 states. We're in Medicare across the country, including Hawaii and Puerto Rico. And if you go onto my website right now, the listing of insurances by state and what we participate as an in-network provider is up there, and more will be added, and more states will be added as this grows. So we're the only cryotherapy company that has these bragging rights that we're AMA approved, credentialed, and be able to accept healthcare insurance. And the technology is borderline mind blowing when people try it, and when they try it, they in disbelief, that, oh my, how is this possible? How is this possible? I've been dealing with lower back pain or sciatic pain or knee pain for months, and I remarkably take it away. And it could be as little as 3 to 4 treatments, depending on the severity of the inflammation. So
That's great. I mean, that's why I wanted you to come on because I just think it's amazing that you have such a powerful tool and insurance is covering it. And
yeah,
I wanted my viewers to be aware of what you're offering. There's not much more to say. I mean, the product, it speaks for itself. It's
yeah,
complicated, yet it's so simple for you to explain it. And the main thing
yes.
is we got to have everybody come check out your Instagram, and you have a website or whatever else you have. We'll put in the description.
Hmm.
We got to get everybody check you out. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Listen, thank you. I mean, I've been very fortunate and very blessed. I mean, I spent 20 something years in the healthcare industry, most of it in medical devices. So I've been able to kind of navigate through the whole channels of the AMA approval and the FDA pretty quickly because I knew exactly where to go and now where not to go. So
Right.
everything is on my website. People could go to my website. Um, I'll provide that information to you later.
Wonderful. I think there's nothing better in the world than providing a service where you help people and you're
Oh
able
yeah.
to make a living while doing something good. There's nothing wrong with making a living.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I retired from the medical device industry and because of an injury that I suffered from, and it forced me into early retirement. But hence, um, you know, I discovered this through looking at other modalities to mitigate my pain. And I was sick and tired of taking the narcotics, the
Right.
methadones and all that other stuff. And when I discovered cryotherapy, the traditional cryotherapy wasn't doing it. And then when I discovered CO2, then I discovered these little machines. Then I altered the machine to perform at a certain level. And then I just kept on, advancing the technology and learning from it. And we have some other big announcements to make at some point soon. We're working with NASA, the space agency, on a reusable rubberized material that has nanotechnology in it. That's going to be a game changer for this system. Um, where we have a lot of a lot of big things coming down the road that will be revealed at some point. But I would say we're about 90 days away from releasing the Viper to make it national, so we can distribute it to hospitals, um, physical therapists, and we have the ability to credential individuals if they want to be a mobile provider. But they have to go through they have to have certain qualifications. Um,
Wonderful.
you know,
So it's basically run like a franchise. You have different people in different states, or
it's not technically a franchise. It's really leasing the equipment into hospitals, PT facilities, rehab, pain clinics. That's the premises of the business.
I
But
see.
I am selling and allowing licensing mobile or static, people, maybe one or two per state, to be a provider of this technology through our training and credentialing, and get them credentialed and licensed with medical malpractice insurance and an NPI license number so they could work with insurance companies. And there's only going to be a handful of those across the country, so but I think it's a really neat service that you could bring it to someone's living room. I mean, half my business is going to people's homes and treating them in their living room. We have that ability. So, or you can come to the facilities. So it's really up to you. But I wanted to make it a multifaceted, service and business where people have an option. So
Fascinating. I always love it when people speak humbly, and when you listen between the lines, it is incredibly complicated, the headaches you must be swimming through. But
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the process. When I decided to go full force with this, I mean, I really sat on it for about 3-4 weeks to really think about this, and if I want, because I was happily retired, enjoying life, and it started off as treating myself, and then bringing the technology to the gym to show my friends, and it started off as a hobby, and then I saw the potential in it, and then it just blew up on me like crazy. And then
wow.
I had the long discussion with my wife, and I said, "Listen, honey, I think I have something here. I want to cultivate it. I want to do trials. I want to really nurture it and see where it brings me." And it's brought me, into areas where no man has gone before, as Gene Roddenberry says. So
Right.
it's just very special, a very special technology for people. And the great thing about it, Ari, is that you can overdose on it. You could do it every day. There's no side effects. The only side effect is that it either doesn't work, or you may get a little skin irritation. But if you follow my techniques, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. And it's really it's a lot of work. Trust me, it's a lot of
Yeah.
work. It's a lot of work.
Well, God bless you. I mean, you should be the poster child for how to retire. Sounds like you may accomplish more in your retirement. And I'm not saying you didn't have a good career, but you may
Yeah,
accomplish more in your retirement than you've done in your whole life.
yeah, this is something different. I mean, my consulting group, my compliance officer says that she said that this may be a paradigm shift in how pain is treated, um, because of the narcotic usage. The opioid usage is up, is up almost 22% each year. And it's a problem. It's a major, major problem, and that's why the AMA pretty much gave me they rolled out the red carpet out to me, and they expedited they expedited me. When we got onto their calendar, you have to feed them certain levels of information before you present, you know, to get your approvals, to get your CPT billing codes before you could even approach Medicare. You have to get through the AMA. And a day before we were supposed to present on June 15th, 2022, they called us up and they said, "We've seen enough. No need to present. We're fast tracking you right to the top, right to editorial." And I got my billing codes in 72 hours, where most people wait a year. So,
Wow.
so they saw the value in this, and Medicare did not even fight us at all. And private insurances are mandated to put this on their formulary because of Medicare. So,
Wow.
we've not, we've done a lot we've done a lot in a short period of time, but the amount of man hours put into this project is catastrophically high. And it's still we still have a lot of things to a lot of little things to do. I mean, all the hard stuff is done. Now it's just getting through the design or manufacturing with my engineers, which should be done this week. And then I'll bring the Viper home to test it, to use it. And then we're in discussions right now with manufacturing to get molds and tooling made for this machine. And it's going to be something very special because the quality is nothing but the best of the materials. Where the rest of the industry is using aluminum and plastic, I'm using titanium and other hard metals like that. So I had to meet certain quality standards in order to get this approved. So
Incredible. Wow. So, I mean, God bless America, but you've managed to get the country with the most red tape in the world, and they showed you the red carpet. So that's
I
amazing. Good for you.
it's unbelievable. I mean, I've had meetings with directors with the AMA in different departments, and it's like, oh my God, who I'm speaking to it, a
Yeah.
director of this, like these are untouchables, and here they are calling me. It's like I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm just a kid that grew up in New York City, but
Yep. Yep.
we're bringing the technology to the United Kingdoms. I've already spoken to their healthcare ministry. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And Canada as well, but Canada wants to see it here for a year before they bring it to the Canadian healthcare system. Um, it's I've gotten a lot of traction, especially in the European market. The European market is a little bit more open-minded than with these type of holistic approaches than Western medicine. Not that I've had any issues here. It's just that Europeans think a little bit differently over there. So
Right. Well,
so
thank you so much for coming on. This is incredible,
good. I'm
and I'm
glad.
glad to share.